I grew up here. I know this town. I know the people here. More important, they know me. As a banker at Town Bank, we become part of the communities we serve. The people who bank with us, our members, know us. When you bank with Town Bank, you'll know your banker. You'll know you can reach us, and you'll know we're here for you.
And we welcome you to our continuing coverage of USA Field Hockey's 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey on this Friday in July from the Training Center in Virginia Beach. Earlier we watched the gold medal match, which saw Vancouver outlast Milan 3-2. Alongside my partner in Bryn Underwood, Matthew Hatfield, here as we have the bronze medal match featuring St. Louis in the white jerseys at 2-1-1, taking on Paris, who's also at 2-1-1. And Bren, this should be another good battle as these two teams were close to getting to the gold medal match, but there's no shortage of outstanding talent and some next-level athletes that will be competing in this one.
For sure, Matt. As we mentioned in the previous game, these players, a lot of them going to Division I schools, a lot of these members a part of junior national squads representing the U.S. internationally. There are some high-level players in this game, so expect some high-quality hockey like we just saw in the noon game for the gold medal.
Before we get to the rosters for each team, and again, St. Louis is in the white uniforms and Paris is in the red jerseys, let's tell you how they got here. In the case of St. Louis, they were able to reach this point at 2-1-1 by defeating the likes of Los Angeles 5-2 and Salt Lake City 2-1 on Thursday. Fell short to Vancouver 3-2 earlier today in the semifinals. Did have a 2-all draw with Atlanta on Wednesday. Meanwhile, for Paris, they reached this spot at 2-1-1 after a 5-3 win over Rome. Blanked Berlin 1-0. Had a 2-all draw with Barcelona on Thursday and then fell short to Milan 1-0 earlier today in the semis. Let's give you the rosters for these two teams. As you see in possession right now, St. Louis has got the white unis, but we'll start things off with the team Paris, coached by Megan Frazier. They're in the red. And in numerical order, you have Reese Samra from Woolwich Township, New Jersey, a forward from the class of 2027. From 2028's class, you have Catherine Butner from Lake Forest, Illinois, a forward wearing number 2. Number 3 is Meadow Deanna Bell, a Yukon pledge from Newton, New Jersey. Committed to American University is Carolyn Kantz from Durham, North Carolina. Carolyn wearing number 4 from the class of 2026, a forward and midfielder. Another forward and midfielder to watch out for is Vera Shidandanan from Centerville, Virginia, Westfield High School's own, and a Columbia commit wearing number 5. You have Sophia Rousseau from Anchorage, Kentucky, out of Assumption High School. The Kentucky runner-ups in 2023 had 19 goals, 10 assists on her way to second-team All-State. Number 7 is Audrey Nelson from Newark, Delaware, committed to Temple. And we'll stop right there with all because we have a penalty corner, Bryn, for St. Louis to get things underway here, not even 2 minutes in. And here's this corner for St. Louis. It gets deflected off the rebound. Karam, a chance there, but a good sign if you're St. Louis and the coach is there to see early on getting that corner, because we didn't see a lot of them in the second half. I think just one apiece in the gold medal match we watched with Vancouver and Milan.
For sure, and if you're St. Louis, getting a corner this early in the game is really great, especially for the morale of your team. And, you know, of course, now we're getting a second penalty corner. This is really great news if you are Coach Pasindu for this team to be able to get something potentially on goal early in the first quarter.
I'm glad you were able to pronounce coach for St. Louis. And if you can get the last name, we'll give you a raise, because I don't know if I can get that one pulled off.
Oh, he's going to be mad at me if I can't pronounce it right. He coached me last year for Senior Nexus.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's Wanagasaria. So Pasindu Wanagasaria, great player and coach as well.
Fantastic job by you. And I thought saying Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala, former NFL player, was hard to say. You just passed that with flying colors on that one there. So good job for Coach Pasindu and his crew getting 2 corners, and they almost got a goal out of that one on the far post side to try to squeeze one through. If they get one more corner here in this period, Bren, it'll be a chance for them to match the most corners we've seen in today's gold or bronze medal match, because Milan had 3 in the second quarter, but that was not enough for them to get the win because they fell short to Vancouver 3-2. So just because you get the corners, as we talked about earlier, doesn't mean you're going to come out on top. You got to take advantage of them.
Yeah, not always. You do have to commit. If you get a chance at the penalty corner, you have to get something on goal. Not being able to execute on a penalty corner, it's what a lot of these college coaches who are here recruiting are looking for. One of the best ways to be recruited is to be a member of an attacking penalty corner and be consistent. So whether you're a striker, an inserter, someone who goes to post, a quick stopper, really good stoppers in the players who are able to step up on an attacking penalty corner and consistently play the ball the way they need to is really great news if you're a college coach.
Some pretty pinpoint passing there, and Frankie Lemieux had it for a second there for Paris. Let's continue on with the roster because we'll get to Frankie and some others here. We stopped last on Audrey Nelson, number 7. Elise Reagan's number 8 for them out of Reutersford, Pennsylvania, midfielder from the class of 2027. You have Rebecca Block from Newton Square, Pennsylvania, wearing number 9. Tegan Hughes, number 10, out of Bridgewater, New Jersey. 11 is Irie Weinstein from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We just mentioned Frankie Lemieux from San Francisco, California, wearing number 12. Bryn Vickery from Pasadena, Maryland, is 13. Kushi Amaro from San Ramon, California, is 14. Lila Klopp from Haddonfield, New Jersey, number 15. She's a talent from the class of 2028, Camden Catholic, and went with Spirit of USA. Number 16 is Mallory Hedinger from Pennsylvania, Media, Pennsylvania, back from the class of 2027. Then your 2 keepers, Jaden Houston, 137 from Austin, Texas, from the class of 2027, and also from the class of 2027, Elena Duff from Havertown, Pennsylvania. But another well-rounded group here that's among the top 4. And if you're in the top 4, you're doing something right here at this Nexus event.
No, you're so right on that, Matt. Especially with as new as these teams are, the majority of these players have never played with each other in any sort of team format. So being able to connect with each other enough to get into a medal match is really great news.
So we've got the first corner now for the group in red. That is none other than Paris here, as St. Louis had 2 earlier in this opening frame. And we'll give you the roster rundown for St. Louis here in a moment, but we'll watch this penalty corner first here for Coach Frazier's team. And that one's going to scoop by the intended target, and it's going to be scooped up by St. Louis on the move with numbers. Here they come. Chance to get it up ahead to number 36 and Catherine St. Amand. And that one goes right through the legs of an intended target as we tick under 9 minutes to go. Let's give you the roster now for St. Louis. In numerical order, number 33, Ava Rice from Pittsford, New York, is committed to Wagner. Number 34, Ella Morelli from Columbus, New Jersey. Luciana DiToso from Short Hills, New Jersey, wearing number 35, and she's a 4 from the class of 2026. Morelli from 2028. We mentioned St. Amand from Lake Forest, Illinois, a Florida midfielder from the class of 2027 who wears 36. From Poquoson High School, Elizabeth Trant, 37, a local product, and a forward from the class of 2026. Maeve McGinley, another talent from Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, a Florida midfielder from the class of 2027, wearing number 38. Cheyenne Green wearing 39 from Suttersville, Pennsylvania, midfielder from the class of 2027. A couple of 2026 athletes in Montgomery Ferguson wearing number 40 out of Houston, Texas, and Danica Caron from Brentwood, New Hampshire, wearing 41. Karis Craver wearing 42 from Pennsylvania, a midfielder from the class of 2026. You have Katie Chapman wearing 43 from St. Louis, Missouri. Abigail Gusto wearing 44 from Brambleton, Virginia, class of 2027. Samantha Lee wearing 45. She's from San Diego, California, a midfielder and back from the class of 2027. Estelle Donald is number 46 from Chester Springs, Pennsylvania, a forward and midfielder who is from the class of 2028. Atia Sabaj wearing number 47 from Lewes, Delaware, a back from the class of 2027. And Maura Simpson from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, back from the class of 2026, wearing number 48. Your 2 goalkeepers, Hadley Loftus from Glen Allen, Virginia, class of 2028. She's 125. And Julie Seth, number 126 from Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, from the class of 2026. So again, Another talent-rich bunch that is looking to capture a medal here today to go with the gold that was achieved earlier from Vancouver in their 3-2 triumph over Milan. And another well-rounded roster here, and a mixture of 2026 players, but also some from the 2027 class, and even multiple names from the class of 2028.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, some of these players are looking to be recruited. Some of them are in their recruiting process. Some of them cannot be actively recruited yet, but these college coaches are definitely keeping a close eye on them, especially those classes of 2028, for when they are eligible to commit to a school next summer. Then these college coaches have already been able to closely watch them and their development throughout their high school careers.
We mentioned that WC Eagles club team that is so famed. Maura Simpson ran with them out of Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, number 48, and she's committed to Temple, number 48 there for St. Louis. As we're a little more than halfway through this opening period, still scoreless between St. Louis and Paris in our matchup here, and that one almost popped through, and it does pop through for a goal. Put it on the board as you see the high fives. Looked like that was initially hit by number 37, Elizabeth Trant, although number 43 was right there with it. So we'll watch the replay again. It was either Trant or Katie Chapman. I'm not sure who had the last hit. Both were involved on it, though.
Yeah, it looks like 44 for White, just getting that ball.
To Gusto, okay.
So off of the rebound on that post, just a really unfortunate rebound. A lot of times for goalkeepers, that rebound, that post is your best friend. And sometimes it just hurts you and just really hurts your feelings sometimes.
Yeah, I was watching right there with Chapman and Trant, and ends up being, like you said, the rebound that gets it to go through. So put it on the board for St. Louis to take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, great work from the Syracuse commit, Abigail Justo. She's a Max Field Hockey Top 100 player to watch. Is from Independence High School down in Virginia. Also plays for Hammers Field Hockey Club, which is a continually growing club in skill and size.
And Independence High School, a relatively new high school in Virginia. It didn't open until 2019 up there in Ashburn. But they have had a lot of success in field hockey rather quickly, ascending to championships, and back in 2023, undefeated season, beating First Colonial here out of Virginia Beach 1-0 in the title game in Class 5. As we've got another corner now, Bryn, for Paris, and this is, if you're them, you want to quickly rinse away that last goal and make this an even game again.
Yeah, it looks like Caroline Kantz is here on the insert for Team Paris, sending the ball in.
Scooting to the left, trying to get a better angle. And then it gets knocked out defensively. Didn't catch the number on that, but it was a good job by the one right there by the post for St. Louis to deny it.
Yeah, the vision was there from Paris, being able just to take the ball on the left, try and find that gap that is open from the formation that St. Louis puts out on their defensive penalty corner. So trying to exploit sort of the gap that is created with that formation, but just not able to get her feet around and push the ball hard on goal. Try to opt for the little flick on the reverse. Just not enough strength for a well-established defensive line that got in front of her.
Past the 50 now on the move at St. Louis with this 1-goal lead.
It's a great pass off from Maeve McKinley, being able to take the ball into the middle of the field with speed and then find the pass to Estelle Donald, number 46, who's starting with the ball on the sideline.
And moving forward into two defenders there with Estelle Donald.
Makes sense that they have such a good connection. Both of them are members of WC Eagles. Actually, there are 5 members of WC Eagles on this St. Louis team alone. So kind of a lucky draw for them, having already played so many years together, all of them part of the same club. Already having that, connection to be able to sort of know where each of them sort of play, what are they like, where are they going to cut to on the field. So some, previous connections for them.
And while both teams, this is their, fifth game on this particular surface, been on this field, it doesn't hurt also to have been here year after year and these events at the training center. You're used to this surface. Oh, what a shot in the upper corner to post side, going away from it. And just like that in red, Paris able to even things up. Excellent job with that goal.
Yeah, just a beautiful shot right up to the upper corner. That there's really nothing that the St. Louis goalkeeper can do on that play. Hadley Loftus did her best. She was on angle. She was set for the shot. But that's just a money ball that you're not going to be able to save most of the time.
That's a highlight reel play that evens the score at 1-1 here. So just like that, we're tied up at 1 apiece here. Paris able to get it done. So similar to what we saw in the gold medal match with Vancouver and Milan, where Anna Arnold had that goal and Sarah Netzberger answered quickly, we see within just a couple of minutes, in fact, less than 3 full minutes of gameplay, Paris able to get the equalizing goal against Milan here. Against St. Louis here.
Yeah, and that actually came off of a turnover from St. Louis. Just that player from Paris that we are trying to find her number to figure out.
Well, and after she scored, if I'm not mistaken, I think she ran off right after, if I'm not mistaken. So harder for us to catch that exact name. We'll give it to you as we get to the second quarter, though, because I believe she subbed out moments after she scored. It is a single-digit number, I can tell you. So that does eliminate the last 6 names on our sheet here, Bren, besides the 2 keepers. So we do know it's one of 9 players. I can tell you that much. It's a single-digit number.
You're a real detective, man.
Yeah, that means I have a 1 in 9 shot of getting it right. I'm not sure if I can guess who it is. Might have been Kantz, though. Hey, we're going to take a timeout. It's 1-1, 1 quarter in the books in the bronze medal match here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach with St. Louis and Paris. Now a word from some of our sponsors here on Cova Sports TV.
From credentials to luggage tags, even time standards tags for competitive swimmers, Bag Tags creates durable and distinct functional sporting events tags that are not only used as a security measure, but are also treasured keepsakes, marking special moments and milestones in an athlete's competitive career. Bag Tag services some of the most notable sporting events across the country. Fully customizable, totally unique, and made in the USA. Visit bagtagsinc.com today.
Grow the game.
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 All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. If you could only see the bonus coverage, we had Bryn Underwood run the 40-yard dash in 4.8 seconds as she went out there to verify who the last goal was scored. Actually, it might have been 4.6, 4.8. You're faster than 4.8, rather. Meadow Dianabal, congratulations to her. She had the game-tying goal here with 2:10 to go in the first period of our bronze medal match here, the U-18 Girls Nexus matchup presented by Osaka Hockey. You see the numbers on the screen with Bryn Underwood, I am Matt Hatfield, St. Louis, and Paris knotted up at 1 apiece. The saves in favor of Paris. The corners even so far, just like the scoreboard. 2-2 there, 1-1 on the board.
Yeah, this has been a relieving game. I think pretty similar to what we saw in our gold medal game. Just a lot of even play on both ends. I think both teams just with lucky breaks from this quick change in possession back and forth.
And here it is with Paris on the move. That one going high above the cage and sailing over the head of the net and the keeper in one, Julia Seth. So we see just the threatening of Audrey Nelson and her teammates. You see also on the screen there, Vera, number 5 for Paris as well. But we don't want to see like teams get up 4 or 5 goals. You want it to be a competitive game, which I think that the fans enjoy. And the last game was just that. It was 1-1, then 2-1 quickly in favor of Vancouver, 2-2 at the break. Goal scored in the third to make it 3-2 for Vancouver. And this one, neither team really getting that great separation. The corners are even, and this could go down to the wire and perhaps finish up with what you are hoping for, which you love, the shootout situation, if we do end up tied after 60 minutes of regulation, the 4 15-minute periods.
Yeah, I mean, we can't jinx it, Matt, but it always makes me excited when we're potentially close to one of those situations. However, we will have to wait. It is only the second quarter, so I can't get my hopes up.
Well, afterwards, if you want to get yourself something nice to take care of the appetite, go see our friends at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better and feel better, where they're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering, box lunches too. Tropical Smoothie Cafe is on Princess Anne Road, right across the street from TCC.
Matt, do you have a favorite flavor of a smoothie from Tropical Smoothie?
I get the Jetty Punch.
Oh,
That's
you
what I
do?
get. Yeah, Jetty Punch is my go-to.
I am committed to the Blimey Limey for life.
Okay,
I'm
I've
a
not had
citrus
that.
person, so we've been fortunate to get some of those meals from at American for a couple of years during our preseason. Was not so lucky this year. I tried really hard to get Tropical Smoothie for our preseason this year. No luck.
There you go. Well, you just got to keep hammering away at it. You know, eventually you'll get it to work.
Of course,
It gets to work. But it's going to be knocked out of play here with just under 13 minutes to go in the first half, and St. Louis, which had the game's first goal, courtesy of Abigail Gusto, the Syracuse commit from Brambleton, Virginia, and Independence High School, trying to get back in position to get a goal or a corner. Well, there's a corner, as that was, I believe, Cheyenne Green, Bryn, who was able to draw that. So it's the third one of the game for them, first here in this period, and we'll see what they do in terms of how they want to execute it.
Yeah, Cheyenne Green being able to get that corner off of the excellent stick work from Elizabeth Trant, being able to take that ball out of the corner with some high pressure around her, find Green in the circle, who was able to get that foot. Elizabeth Trant, really successful player both in field hockey and in track and field. She was a member of the U-16 junior national team back in 2023. The Virginia native. However, she's also a 7-time track state champion.
And there's a goal right off the corner. Job well done, as I believe that might have been Catherine St. Amand. They got it done, number 36, and it is. And that breaks the 1-1 tie, putting St. Louis in the lead 2-1, as St. Amand is able to strike to put her team in front.
Yeah, great execution on that corner. From the player at the top of the circle, who was able to send that far sweep to the far post where St. Amand was waiting for that final tip. Great work, great finish from the Illinois State runner-up.
So just like that, St. Louis breaking the tie. They've yet to trail in this game. In that first goal from Gusto, we mentioned the goal that Meadow the Annabelle had for Paris. And that entry for St. Louis by Maura Simpson, it got it started. Paris trying to get an answer.
In an attempt at a baseline play by Caroline at right forward. She's one of our Division I commits headed to American University, not this fall, but in the fall of 2026. She also has she has 2 younger sisters, one of them who is of age to play in U-14 Nexus Championships, Mac Kantz. I had the pleasure of coaching her last year for U-14. However, she played in the bronze medal game this year for her second time at U-14 Nexus Championships. So both sisters playing for bronze medal matches in their Nexus age groups.
That's really cool. Really, really cool. Kant's trying to help her team today capture the bronze medal. At least she doesn't have to face that goalkeeper of the year from the Patriot League to help her team win it today. Kudos to you on that, by the way.
No,
Excellent job.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Caroline Kantz by about 2 years to be her teammate, but she's going into a really great team under Coach Steve Jennings, who I've had the pleasure of playing under for my 5 seasons. So great team and excellent coaching staff. I can't
No 6.
ever
You're done
say.
at 5. You're done
Yes.
at 5. Okay. Making sure. Because sometimes now, you can get a 6, 7. You never know these days.
Yeah, tried filling out
Okay.
that waiver. They said no. They were like, "You're too old." Nah, just kidding. I was.
It's just as they go try to get into enemy territory, you see the substitutions running into the screen. Number 2, Catherine Butner for Paris, among others, part of the mass substitutions. What's your do you have a philosophy, a feel when you're in these type of events, Nexus? And again, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this, but the substitution pattern. What's kind of your belief of it and what the fans see? Because they'll see it, and sometimes there is a rhyme or reason to what they do, a method to the madness, if you will.
Yeah, well, of course, in your club championships, your high school games, you are playing your best players first, and you have the players who are most capable off the bench to be going next. So you can't always guarantee even playing time or even a chance to be able to get off of the bench when you're in high school, college, club, and that's why these players work so hard to be in the positions they are, being top players at their high schools and potentially top players at their universities when they head there. However, for Nexus, I think, of course, this is a selection tournament, so you should be able to present yourself evenly with your teammates. Sometimes that's hard. We tend to have a larger amount of forwards and mids that make it to these tournaments than true defenders. So there's either a bit of an imbalance between subbing, or you might be a mid who's going to be asked to step up as a defender in these situations in order to get that even amount of playing time. And I'm not a field player, but if I had the choice as a field player between playing less time at a position I prefer, or an even amount of time or more playing time in a position I might be new to, I'm always going to pick the latter.
Makes sense, and sometimes the roles are evolving for some of these athletes when they get together in an event like this. It almost has like an all-star type of setting. Some of the best competing against one another here. It is the U-18 Nexus Championships presented by Osaka Hockey. 6:50 to go in the first half. A 2-1 lead for St. Louis on top of Paris. Paris operating in the red unis, but this time it's going to be picked up by St. Louis's Maeve McGinley. Makes a good pass over to number 46 and Estelle Donald, and it gets touched out of play, and now we'll see another corner chance for the group in the white for St. Louis as they try to go back to work and extend this lead and make it 3-1 here, as this is their second of the period, fourth of the half.
Yeah, it just looks like a miscommunication between goalkeeper Alana Duff and her defender about who was going to step up to that ball. Looks like her defender went to make the play, got called for a back stick on that reverse sweep. It happens. But, of course, that means it leads to a penalty corner for St. Louis in order to try and widen this gap between these two teams.
So it's going to be McGinley, the one putting it into play. Two defenders shade over.
Oh, yeah, and just a stipulation on that rule for penalty corners. So Maeve McGinley, just a bit of a mistake on that insert. Happens to the best of us. McGinley is usually a very consistent inserter. However, because of that missed touch, the inserter is not allowed to touch the ball again in the circle until another player does. If she were to go and try and play that insert again, it would be a free hit coming out. So that's why you saw, it looked like 46 might have been Estelle Donald who came in to receive that ball and try and make another play in the circle to try and create something on goal from the broken corner.
They do a good job up there on USA Field Hockey. Go to the website, usafieldhockey.com. You can go to /Nexus for all the details about Nexus, frequently asked questions, the FAQ section, and other things with the rules and just the whole setup. So if you want a visual breakdown of everything that goes on with this event, they do a splendid job. And again, make sure you follow their social pages. As we watch on the move here now, Brent, it's going to be Paris trying to get that game-tying goal before we get to halftime. They've had a couple of looks here. In terms of pace of play right now, I think a lot of these athletes, we hear it all the time in sports, you want to play up-tempo, you want to play fast. Is there an edge in terms of being more methodical or running gun style in a setting like this? And in this particular matchup, would you see either team having an edge in this type of case right now? St. Louis clinging to a 2-1 lead as we watch Paris try to tie things up before intermission.
Yeah, there are. Let me wait for this play on goal.
Oh, that one hit the top of the post. Believe that was by Estelle Donald, who you've talked about a little bit here. And she hit that with a lot of power, a lot of velocity, if you will, as they say. That's the big phrase word now in baseball. You always hear about velo. There was a lot of velocity on that one.
Yeah, great attempt on goal there. Man, hey, just as much as the post can be a goalkeeper's friend, the crossbar can be just as much. Just a little bit too high for that play to get it on cage, but a great shot nevertheless.
You don't time the velo in field hockey. Do you have a little meter with that, with the velo? Is that
I wish we did, but I think just because the ball is in so many different places at once, you can't really put a radar on the entire field.
Exactly. But going back to the methodical, the more up pace here with 3.5 minutes to go, is there a sense right now with either team right now? What do you think the coaches are thinking right now as they're approaching halftime? If you're St. Louis, you're feeling a little bit better than Paris right now with this 2-1 lead.
Yeah, no, there are positives to being able to slow down the speed of play. We actually saw a little bit of that strategy if anyone was watching the U.S. women's national team play Ireland back in June. USA known for their quick turnovers, their hustle sort of playing style where they take the ball with speed. They're waiting. They want that more chaotic sort of environment to be able to take the ball when Ireland would least expect it. And Ireland, knowing that that's what Team USA likes to do, was opting to keep the ball in the backfield, take slow passes around the back, and wait for an opening from an antsy U.S. press to then find some opportunities on goal. And they did find some success with that in their first game against the States, being able to slow down that speed in order to go against what the U.S. was trying to do by picking up the pace, taking it to advantage the speed that roster has for the States.
Miguel Gusto, who scored the first goal, the Syracuse commit, attempted to get St. Louis in position for another corner or a shot on goal to make it 3-1, but now on the move again it is Paris here as they've got it past midfield, but this one's just going to race out of the reach of them as they see it sail towards the fence signed by the USA flag. They're starting to whip a little bit on this warm Friday afternoon in Virginia Beach in the month of July, where it's presently 87 degrees, the humidity up to 98, and so far so good, keeping the Thunder Boomers and the rain away as we've got 1:40 to go in our first half. A couple of subs lining up there for St. Louis in the white, ready to come in. One of what you see there, Ella Morelli into your camera view. That one's going to get by Gusto for a second as Erie Weinstein was able to jump in front, hit up ahead.
And we mentioned Weinstein a couple of times in the gold medal game for Vancouver.
We did.
Irie's twin sister, Shiloh Weinstein, with that goal in the gold medal game to be able to help her team win for first place in Nexus Championships. Now we have Irie looking for the bronze medal in this game.
And this time it's going to be a goal. I think it's, a penalty corner chance rather, as Rousseau bump right into Morris Simpson. So this is going to be the first corner of the period now for Team Paris. And since they're third of the half, St. Louis has got 4 so far in the half, 2 in each frame, as we're under 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. Can they even things up here before we get to halftime?
Yeah, this would be a great chance for Paris, and also just a really great sense of, I keep saying morale is the word, but this will make them feel really good going into this half with a tied goal.
And that one just a little bit of a missile shot that went wide of the post. I think that might have been by Regan. As you see, Julie Seth in keep for St. Louis, which came into today's Bronze medal match with 11 goals scored, 8 allowed. Paris with 8 goals scored and 5 surrendered entering this one. And that horn sounding means we have gotten to halftime. More field hockey action coming your way, though. A 2-1 lead for St. Louis on top of Paris in the bronze medal match for 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championships. Presented by Osaka Hockey. We'll step aside, catch our breath, rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. You'll hear from, I'm sure, Gatorade and others right here on Cova Sports TV. Stay tuned.
A history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
Same as lame. Field hockey players have stick. They've got vibe. They've got that tuning fork in their hearts that goes off when a ball thumps the backboard of a goal. Field hockey is for the mold breakers, the convention challengers, the trailblazers, people who think outside the box and come alive inside the circle. Sure, there will always be those who mindlessly take the road more traveled, think the same, do the same, play the same. Field hockey players know that the strength of the pack is the wolf, and that the strength of the wolf is the pack. We know we're different, and we're proud of it. It's how we stand out. It's how we fit in. Like eagles, we soar individually, yet value family and togetherness highly. Join us. We're the minority of millions that get it. There's a stick waiting to be picked up, lifelong friendships to be made, goals to be a part of, victories, defeats, draws, and more. Stories to be told, with you, by you, of you. There's a field hockey team waiting to be called yours. Game on. Dare to differ.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you'll ever see.
And as you can see, me and you are both having trouble starting to talk.
Yep.
I mean, this is something that you're breathing in every day.
Yeah. Like 50% of the air in the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is coming from down here.
Yes, sir.
How's your crawl space looking? You said we're going to be here a while.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get busy.
Get a free and honest inspection with JES Foundation Repair, a groundworks company.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
To our continuing coverage of USA Field Hockey's 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championships presented by Osaka Hockey. USA Field Hockey, grow the game, and usafieldhockey.com for so much more. It's the bronze medal match, which right now has St. Louis on top of Paris by a count of 2 to 1 alongside Brent Underwood. Matt Hatfield here with you. We want to thank our entire team from Kayla Hodge here in Mission Control, as well as Jack Lowe and Shannon and Brent. So far, it's a good start for St. Louis, 2-1, but things can change quickly. What have you seen in the first half? What do you expect in the second half?
Yeah, we've really seen attack from both ends of the field. I would like to see some more true quality shots on goal. I think the shots have been few and far between, while the offensive pushes have been consistent. So we've gotten plays in the attacking 25s into the circle, but let's really continue to test these goalkeepers and force them to make some more saves with some higher quality shots on goal.
So in the white uniforms, it is St. Louis with this 2-1 lead, working now from right to left on your screen. Paris will go from left to right in the red jerseys. Both teams coming in at 2-1-1, falling in the semifinal rounds to the two teams we watched square off in the gold medal match earlier today on Cova Sports TV, which watched Vancouver prevail 3-2 over Milan thanks to Tess Hankins' go-ahead goal in the third quarter. As far as this game goes, 4 penalty corners for St. Louis through 1/2 of play, 3 for Paris, and St. Louis was able to get on the board first thanks to Abigail Gusto's goal with 5:58 to go in the opening frame. Just literally 3 minutes and 48 seconds later, though, it was a goal scored by Paris to knot things up, and that was by none other than Meadow Dienabal. And then in the second quarter with 11:45 to go, Catherine St. Amand scoring it to break the tie and put St. Louis in the lead, which is where we are here with 13 minutes and change in this third quarter. And from the corner area, we watch St. Louis trying to get to the shooter circle area. That's going to get pushed out of bounds here with with Paris here trying to see if they can change up field position. And so far, St. Louis with this lead doing a good job of netting some corners and also spacing out the defense as they get this one into play. Back into the player that had the side in. But there you go once again, Brent, as we watch the aggressiveness here. St. Louis very active in this early part of the third quarter, as that was Maeve McGinley who got in the fray.
Yeah, McGinley consistently on that ball gaining possession has created a lot of opportunities for St. Louis. Part of the reason why they are in this 2-1 lead. McGinley, a member of the U-16 junior national team, also a member of the current U.S. indoor development squad, a part of that team that went to the Can-Am Cup earlier this year in March up in Toronto. Actually, I got to play with her on that squad. Is just an excellent ball handler. We've seen her skill on the inserts in these penalty corners and just hacking those sidelines, trying to take the baseline in these plays, doing an excellent job.
Ella Morelli here, as she goes and tracks that down. These athletes, and yourself being one of them, has competed in various events and at American University, where you were the keeper of the year, as we just touched on a little while ago. When you know you're getting evaluated, doesn't really change the mindset and how you perform out there, does it?
Well, best players, those mindsets don't change.
Okay.
The players who are the top of the class in these groups, which are already some of the top players in the country, are able to know that even though they're getting evaluated, they're still going to play the same and play with the same mindset that they would for any other game. So the level of quality should not change just because you're being selected in this circumstance.
Oh, a great look there as that was knocked away last second. I believe that was Morelli, if I'm not mistaken, that had a look at it just a few feet away from the net.
Yeah, an excellent save there from Jaden Houston, the goalkeeper from Texas. She's also a member of the U-16 junior national team, and that right there is an example of why she is just some excellent reaction skills, being able to cover the goal on that crossing ball, watch the ball as it played into that space, off the stick, get her hand across and make that diving play. It's no wonder she just committed to Penn State only about a week and a half ago, and it's no wonder why she's getting
wealth of talent hails from the Big Ten in field hockey, as we've got our first corner op of the second half now.
Yeah, it looks like they just called St. Louis for touching the ball after the foul was called against them. So, therefore, that sort of play, especially outside of the penalty circle, being considered a breakdown foul in order to limit the momentum of play Paris could have had, therefore resulting in a penalty corner.
I think that it's Tegan Hughes going out there for this insert.
This is a great chance for Paris to get on the board again and tie this up in the second half of this game.
Little dump off to the left. England from the far post area. It's going to be knocked out, but another chance coming up as they'll get a second one here in a span of moments. So Paris goes in front on the penalty corners now. Can they make this pay off with a game-tying goal? That's the big question. We've seen so far in this game Deanna Bell score for them, but they have other threats too. Doesn't have to be just her. And you see on the near post side, number 12, Frankie Lemieux.
Shine up.
Now that one going high and out of play, behind the fence even. Trying to go airborne for it. You spoke the other day, Bern, about the airborne way the game is certainly played internationally, not just here in the US of A, but this type of game here, that can be something that swings momentum, particularly if you're Paris trying to get back in this game down 2-1. You're not really out of it, but reclaim momentum. That's something they could possibly turn to.
For sure, Matt. You do have to have the personnel who are able to do this. At the moment, it seems like neither team is really utilizing that aerial ball, which doesn't mean that they aren't doing other things to get the ball down the field and maintain possession. It's just one sort of play that you could have in your bag of tricks that could, help you get the ball down to your opposition circle.
How about the patience of Carolyn Kantz, the American University commit, with the triple team, a trio of white shirts surrounding her, doesn't lose her focus, and yet that's the third penalty corner of the period here for Paris, trailing at 2-1 on the scoreboard, but they're getting closer and closer to really putting one on the board and tying this thing up.
Yeah, great individual skill from Kantz, especially just off that side in, being able to take the ball immediately, placed it, put that defense on their back foot, and got that chance in the circle.
I'm going to tell you about another one of our partners after this corner coming up here on Cova Sports TV. Little plastic dump off. Oh, and it's scored! We're tied at 2 apiece. Hugs all around, and just like that, the third corner is the charm, as that is Rebecca Block from Pennsylvania, number 9 out of Newton Square, Pennsylvania, able to get it done here to tie things up at 2.
Yeah, Rebecca Block using her experience on the U-18 junior national team. She's already in high school All-American, showing her expertise on that drag flick, a skill that's already so popular in the college game among internationals, and is becoming a more popular skill with the U.S. players. Something, if you can learn early, is going to help you a lot, especially if you're Rebecca Block in that situation.
And now a green card being issued here.
Yeah, you mentioned in the gold medal game. For almost every other situation, a green card means that your team is playing down by one player for 2 minutes. However, since this is a selection tournament, Paris. I almost said Milan from the gold medal game. Paris is able to put in another player to replace the player that just got the card in order to keep things even and allow another player to continue to be evaluated for the selections like we've talked about.
Ironically enough, that happened involving, remember, Hankins in the last game, and it ended up being Hankins' team with her scoring the game winner late in the third quarter. We'll see if the eventual game winner score late in the third quarter will take something that transpires in the fourth, or dare we say a shootout to determine the victor here in this bronze medal match, as that one is hit in from the side by Montgomery Ferguson out of Houston, Texas for St. Louis. A lot of Texas flavor out there in this matchup. Certainly Pennsylvania, Virginia. We've touched on some from Delaware, Illinois, but Texas, I think, just in this bronze medal match alone has got 2 or 3 players representing here for St. Louis or Paris, as we watch a little bit of some spacing out the defense, I should say, by St. Louis, trying to see if they can get a good mismatch opportunity with Elizabeth Trant now. Tossing it over to a teammate on the move.
Yeah, Texas with a lot of great talent coming from that state. As we saw in the National Club Championships back in June, Texas Pride getting third in the
That's
U8
right.
in the U19 age group for National Club Championships.
I want to hit off the corner of the near post there.
Yeah, almost another ringer into the top corner. You usually don't even get one of those once in a game, let alone twice.
And that one intercepted. A good job again by St. Louis. They get it over to Elizabeth Trant. Trant with two defenders sandwiching her in. She gets rid of it wisely. See if she'll get it back on the feet here. And that was going to be taken out of play. As mentioned earlier, one of our partners here on Cova Sports TV helping make our broadcast possible is Triumph Realty. What is your home really worth? Find out now by visiting TriumphRealtyVA.com. That's TriumphRealtyVA.com. 4.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. We're deadlocked at 2 apiece between St. Louis and Paris, and we have a penalty corner now on the left side of the field, so we'll see if this will result in the tie being broken with St. Louis getting their first corner of the half, 5th of the game. So far, 6 for Paris in the contest, 3 in this quarter. So something I'm sure Coach Pessendu has been hoping for here to see if it translates into his team going back in front with Gusto here on the near side. It'll be put into play, I believe, by, is that Donald or Morris Simpson? I believe that Simpson is going to put it into play.
And being on a team before with Pasindu, he is known for his really creative corners. So expect something maybe a little bit out of left field for this play.
All right. I want to bring a follow-up to you on that here. That's going to result in another corner. That was right to the near side as we were wondering about with Gusto. And here's the second one now coming up.
Yeah, Coach Pasindu as well is a goalkeeper. He has goalkeeping experience, so he knows what it's like to be on the opposite end of this corner. So hopefully that expertise works out in St. Louis's favor.
And that one takes a couple of hops. Fisher gets out of the way. Got to give a shout out to these officials, too. They've been braving the heat just like the athletes, and it's not an easy gig, but they do a superb job, and big shout out to them as Brian Tice's crew doing a yeoman's work here at the training center this week as we see more substitutions running to the screen with 38 and 42 for St. Louis. That's Maeve McGinley and Karis Craver respectively here. All right, the corners. You talked about the creativity. How creative can you get, especially in a setting like this and as time ticks down? It's tied at 2. Do you develop the creativity? Do you scale it back? Give me the thought process.
Well, I think sometimes the best penalty corners are the ones that are able to be taken quick. And most of the times, those are the ones that are the simplest. So the quicker you can get a shot on goal, the better chance you usually get. However, being able to have some creativity and some differentiation in the corners that you take make it harder for the defense to be able to sort of interpret and also anticipate what choice you might be doing next.
Cheyenne Green, how about in terms of how much you can practice those? Certainly when you get together with a new group of teammates, you don't have as much time as you would during, the high school club season, college season, if you're on a college team. Is it something you spend an awful lot of time, or is it also the thought process of don't overthink it to a degree?
In these tournaments, you really can't spend too much time on it. I think most coaches spend about 20 minutes of their hour-long practice that they get at the beginning of this tournament to work on corners. And then there's really not a lot of warm-up time in between these games, usually about 3 to 5 minutes for these teams to get on the field at all. So any corner practice that you're getting is minimal. So if you're going to come up with some creative corners, you probably are only going to get about 1 or 2 at best. So it's, you have to use that time wisely if you're going to use some more intricate corners in your playing style.
Now you see with number 3, Meadow D'Anibal, who's scored already in this match, being ridden by Atia Sabaj.
Looks like that play was called for an intentional ball over the end line. On 47, that is for St. Louis, Atia Sabaj. As you saw, she had her stick in that low block tackle, a parallel with the end line. Because of the way her stick is angled, it really can only mean that the ball is going to go over the end line. So it's up to the official to determine whether that's an intentional ball over the end line or not. In this case, the official thought so.
Looks like Elise Regan's going to be the one that puts this into play here. Let's keep an eye on number 2 in the middle of your screen, Catherine Butner. Lays it down for a teammate. That one's going to take a hop. Butner had a chance on the rebound. There's a nice little nifty pass and a score. And the game is no longer tied. Paris takes a 3-2 lead after that penalty corner. The 4th of the period, 7th of the game, puts them in front.
Yeah, what a great goal on that penalty corner. The initial play saved by the initial save was saved by the post player on that play, but just able to knock it back in on the rebound.
We'll come back with the 4th quarter conclusion of the 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey from the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. Paris with a 3-2 lead on St. Louis in the bronze medal match. More to come on Cova Sports TV.
What does happiness mean to you?
Being in the ocean with you, watching you catch super fun waves.
In Virginia Beach, happiness is breaking barriers and savoring the sunshine.
I couldn't pick a better place or a better person to be with. This is what makes me happy.
Happiness is going all out.
And taking it all in.
Here, happiness is whatever you make it. Find yours in Virginia Beach.
A history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
At Atomic Wing. At Atomic Wings, we prioritize real chicken with fresh, all-natural, never-frozen ingredients, all packed with serious flavor. Order from over 15 awesome flavors at atomicwings.com.
That's right. Go follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and get yourself some Atomic Wings. They're located in the Princess One Shopping Center of Virginia Beach. 757-937-0229. They close at 10 Eastern. Tell them Matt Hatfield, Brent Underwood sent you there. It is the 4th quarter now of the 2025 Nexus U-18 Championships presented by Osaka Hockey. Paris with a 3-2 lead on top of St. Louis, and Bryn Meadow-Dienabal scoring her 2nd goal of the game as she got that one to break the tie as airborne opportunity to begin this 4th quarter. She got that one with 24 ticks to go in the 3rd after the penalty corner, the 7th of the game for Paris. But Dienabal having really a nice showing here with 2 goals today.
Yeah, great heads-up play from her, being able to find that rebound. First off, be in the right place to play a rebound off of the goalkeeper or just coming out of the circle, being able to be at that post just in case, to one-time it in for the finish. A great job from the UConn commit. UConn going to a school that's just won a Big East championship and made a NCAA berth. Those coaches there are closely watching her as she just committed to that institution. So great job for her.
Yeah, they're doing well in other sports besides just obviously winning a national championship this past year in women's college basketball. That group led by Paige Beckers and company. Now she in the WNBA, but with a 3-2 lead, Paris trying to maintain this and keep St. Louis from going in the lead. St. Louis had the lead with Abigail Gusto's goal early in this contest. That one's going to be saved. Nice job by the keeper coming out of net to get her glove on it.
Yeah, that was numbered 126, Julie Seth, out of Maryland. She plays for Freedom Hockey, is also a member of the Bullis School, a school that only got field hockey back in 2023. So She strictly played club and was a part of the Nexus pathway until Bullis got field hockey for their high school team, and she's been the starting goalkeeper there ever since. An excellent step out on that play, was able to get into that smother, get the ball with her stick, then able to get up from that play, find her balance, make a beautiful dive across to her right side to make the second save. Just great composure from her. I've gotten to coach her personally. It's just a wonderful personality, too. A lot of these players just so sweet off the field. They know how to be aggressive and strong on the field, but off the field, just wonderful people as well.
Corner now for St. Louis, their 7th of the game as they put it into play here. And here's another corner coming up. It'll be the 15th of the contest and 8th for St. Louis. Our last game, the gold medal match that saw Vancouver beat Milan 3-2, had a total of 7 corners, only 2 after halftime. We've already had now in this half alone 8 corners. Shot from straight away for number 44 in Abigail Gusto, and that one's going to be off the mark. But with 12 minutes and change, St. Louis trailing this Paris outfit 3-2.
Yeah, Abigail Giusto just not really able to get the same connection that she did on her first attempt in that penalty corner. Ball just bounced a little bit out wide. Not really getting a great opportunity off what should have been a good chance for them on goal with only 12 minutes left to go in this game.
Trying to stretch out the defense. St. Louis now with Maura Simpson. Gets it right back on the feed. Now coming into your view is number 39, Cheyenne Green. Back to the direction they go with Atia Sabaj. Here's Craver tries to pass it along the far sideline, but that's out of reach of, looks like Elizabeth Trant was the intended target there.
Yeah, Karis Craver, we haven't mentioned her much yet. She goes to Warwick High School in Pennsylvania, a very storied program there with quite a few state championships under their belt. Most recently, last year in 2024, she's also a Max Field Hockey Top 50 member and is headed to Ohio State in just a couple of years. Actually, next fall, not this upcoming one, of course, in fall 2026.
How about that? The Junior Nexus Championship U21 division features 6 teams, and that's going to get underway starting tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. The games featuring Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, as well as Atlanta and Amsterdam, and the championship and medals will be away at 10 a.m. Eastern on Sunday here on Cova Sports TV. We'll bring it to you. And if you want to follow what's happening with USA Field Hockey and the Nexus events, just go to usafieldhockey.com and get the Turning Machine app. It's available at your fingertips on your mobile device. Go to Turning Machine and type in Junior Nexus Championships, and you can see all the results and the schedule. And it's updated pretty swiftly. And that one's going to take a hopping behind the net. The U-14 champions, Athens. The U-16 champions, Paris. And earlier today, Vancouver, the U-18 champs, edging Milan 3-2. And here comes another corner. It's going to be the 3rd one of the frame now for St. Louis. Paris with this lead, but it's a tenuous one here as St. Louis continues to knock on the door.
Yeah, and if Paris keeps giving up these penalty corners, it would only be a matter of time before St. Louis is able to bat one of those balls in. Of course, as we said before, the number of penalty corners doesn't always coincide with the more goals you get, but it certainly does help with consistently peppering the defense, peppering the goalkeepers. You only have 4 field players in that goal and your goalkeeper to be able to attempt to stop this shot on cage.
Vancouver only had 1 in the final frame of the last matchup that they won.
Yeah, St. Louis just not able to capitalize on that play again. Just another mishit. If they're able to just get connection and a shot on cage, they might be able to find an opportunity more on a rebound than a direct hit, as we saw with Paris with their goal that is now allowing them to lead 3-2 from Deanna Bell. Did not come from a direct shot, just came from being in the right place at the right time in front of the cage to get that loose ball straight into the goal.
Ella Morelli playing defense there along the near sideline. You're getting the close-up camera angle with number 13 in possession of the ball for Paris. That is Bryn Vickery. Haven't talked a whole lot about her from Pasadena, Maryland.
Not at all. A great name, by the way. I'm not biased at all. Yeah, she plays for Warhawks. Is from Chesapeake High School. She has been a 3-time Nexus selection, and her older sister Eve was a goalkeeper at Delaware. Graduated back in 2023. So, of course, as we say before, a lot of field hockey families. I mean, including Sophia Rousseau, who we've mentioned a little bit, has a younger sister, Maddie, who played in U-16 Nexus, so who played for her age group. We've already talked about Irie Weinstein, her sister Shiloh, helping getting that gold medal in the championship game. So a lot of siblings, of course, in these Nexus championships.
And trying to thread one through with just over 7 minutes to go. Paris with this 3-2 lead. It'll be turned back over to St. Louis now. Chance to tell you that if you're looking for all things field hockey, you can stop in at Pain and Gain. It's located in the Princess One Shopping Center of Virginia Beach, where they carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and more. Try out your stick before you buy it, and their synthetic turf area, Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game. Paris on top of St. Louis 3-2. And right now, we see the defense for St. Louis getting very feisty again behind Morelli. And here's a chance one-on-one with the keeper, and number 38, Maeve McGinley, just could not handle it there for a moment.
Yeah, McGinley, as we said before, consistently getting in the circle with chances on goal. I think she has more time there than she thinks to be able to receive the ball, really move Jaden Houston in goal, and get a quality shot outside of just a reverse sweep right after she received it.
We did happen to see a shootout take place in the bronze medal match of the U-16 division. Paris was the champions of the U-16 as they beat Montreal 3-1, but Milan winning the shootout over St. Louis 2-1 on Tuesday here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. And now in the red, it's Paris trying to make something come to life here to make it a 4-2 cushion. They're looking for that 2-goal lead, which we talked about before in hockey, or field hockey rather. It's not always an easy thing, but if you get it in the fourth quarter with time ticking down, then it gives you that little sigh of relief. And right now, as they've got possession inside the attacking third, trying to do some damage, and that one's going to go behind and out of play, behind the net.
Yeah, it looks like these players are starting to get a little bit tired. It makes sense. It's a hot day outside. It's sunny. It's only 5 minutes left in the game. These players are working hard, and you can tell by the effort they're putting out and the heavy breathing. You can see the hands on the hips. These players are putting their all into this game, and now it's a matter of my energy might not be able to get me through the end of this game, so I've got to rely on my skill and my teammates in order to move the ball around me.
And if you're Coach Frazier of Paris, how much are you thinking, not so much the stall tactic, if you will, you can't really do that, but playing the keep away here and going that methodical approach here with 4 minutes ticking down? You're getting close to that point where you can start to really do that, correct?
Yeah, and especially in this situation, for Nexus Championships, we play with a running clock. So if you're earning penalty corners, you have a couple of seconds to be able to gather, get the ball set up, and that takes about 30 seconds off the clock. So if you continue to get penalty corners, you're winding that time down and giving St. Louis no opportunities to get to the other end.
And that was the first corner of the fourth here for Paris, which had 4 in the third, their 8th of the game. And St. Louis trying to quickly change up the field positioning right here and now as Sabaj dumps it off to a teammate. They work the far sideline, but not an easy task right now. And you mentioned the fatigue. It certainly is becoming a factor. And for these athletes, it'll be nice to definitely get the hydration and maybe get one of those nice cold treats. You can go get one right down the road from us at Dairy Queen Lansdowne. Every day is sweet when they're serving you blizzard treats like M&M's, Reese's, cookie dough, and Oreo fudge brownie. Oh, that sounds so good. They thank you for being fans all these years, and here's to many, many more. Dairy Queen, it's fan food, not fast food. Grill and chill. Definitely chill. 3 minutes and change here on the move. Paris with a 3-2 advantage. Here's Reese Samra.
What a great jab from Sabal on that defensive play. Just got a little touch off of that stick in order to stop that baseline attempt.
I haven't told you a whole lot about Samra today, part of that New Jersey Group 4 state championship team where she had 5 goals and 3 assists for her squad out of Woolwich Township, New Jersey. Two defenders again trying to just button them up, and that's Samantha Lee for St. Louis.
Yes, Samra also part of the U-16 junior national team back in 2024. So having a little bit of that international experience as well. A lot of these players getting that chance to play overseas through this pipeline that Nexus does provide for these players to, represent the states at a higher level.
Shadandadan. That's Vera Shadandadan, the Columbia commit with it. Into the teeth of the defense in the shooter circle area. Gets deflected out. Passed over by her teammate in Kushiyama. And right now the clock not on the side of St. Louis, trailing at 3-2.
Yeah, and if you're Paris in this situation, you don't have to go to goal. The biggest goal for you is to keep the ball. So if you want to attack the cage, you want to pressure St. Louis to have to stay within their defensive 25 because, one goal is a small deficit. 2 goals is a huge deficit. So force them to have to make that defensive play or maybe take the ball back around, make them chase. It's just a matter as to what Coach Megan Frazier wants for them. And she is no stranger to success herself, a 2-time NCAA champion at Maryland, also the Honda Award winner, one of the highest accolades for a collegiate field hockey athlete. She's now the assistant at Stanford, a well-storied program there. But if you're her, you've had this experience of, winning and being at the top level. How do you play this situation in order to give Paris the best chance of having limited chances on goal from St. Louis who are trying to tie this up?
St. Louis on the side in going airborne for this one. It's going to take a hop and getting close here to having a chance with number 36. That's Catherine St. Amand, who has scored today. St. Amand had the goal that put them ahead 2-1 with 11:45 to go in the second quarter to go with Gusto's goal in the first period. But both goals this half scored by Paris with Rebecca Block, and then the second one from Meadow D'Anibal late in the third quarter as Paris is closing in just 15 seconds away from a comeback win in the bronze medal game, just like we had a comeback 3-2 triumph for Vancouver over Milan in our gold medal match. And with under 10 seconds to go, they can sense it, as indeed the bronze medal will go with the horn sounding to Paris. A come-from-behind winner, 3-2 today over St. Louis as they huddle up and hug each other and celebrate this win in the heat on a Friday in July. It's got to feel good for them, Bren.
Yeah, what a great game for them. Really tight game between both teams. Coming back from a 2-1 deficit is hard, but Paris was able to do it and then, keep momentum going into that fourth quarter and to limit St. Louis's opportunity. St. Louis with a great push at the end of that game, but just not enough.
So that's going to conclude our coverage. Paris winning the bronze medal here in the 2025 Nexus Championships for U-18 presented by Osaka. For our entire team, from Nick Senti and Jack Lowe to our producer-engineer Kayla Hodge, Stephen Shannon on camera, and my partner Brent Underwood, I am Matthew Hatfield. We thank you for watching. Keep it tuned to USA Field Hockey and usafieldhockey.com for so much more. The Turning Machine app at your fingertips to tell you who's playing who and when and where. Plus, subscribe to Cova Sports TV for all your live streaming needs. We'll talk to you again coming up on Sunday for the U-21 Championships. We say so long in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Grow the game.
Grow the game.
Grow the game.
Grow the game!
Grow the game.
Grow the game. Grow the game. Grow the game.
Get ready for the concert event of the summer.
On the road again.
Catch Willie Nelson and family. Bob Dylan. Turnpike Troubadours. And more at the Outlaw Music Festival's 10th anniversary tour, July 29th. Veterans United Home Loans Amphitheater at Virginia Beach. Get access to preferred tickets with your city card. For tickets and more, go to livenation.com and outlawmusicfestival.com.
Same is lame. Field hockey players have stick. They've got vibe. They've got that tuning fork in their hearts that goes off when a ball thumps the backboard of a goal. Field hockey is for the mold breakers, the convention challengers, the trailblazers, people who think outside the box and come alive inside the circle. Sure, there will always be those who mindlessly take the road more traveled, think the same, do the same, play the same. Field hockey players know that the strength of the pack is the wolf, and that the strength of the wolf is the pack. We know we're different, and we're proud of it. It's how we stand out. It's how we fit in. Like eagles, we soar individually, yet value family and togetherness highly. Join us. We're the minority of millions that get it. There's a stick waiting to be picked up, lifelong friendships to be made, goals to be a part of, victories, defeats, draws, and more. Stories to be told, with you, by you, of you. There's a field hockey team waiting to be called yours. Game on. Dare to differ.
At Atomic Wings, we prioritize real chicken with fresh, all-natural, never-frozen ingredients, all packed with serious flavor. Order from over 15 awesome flavors at atomicwings.com.
Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
What it means to reciprocate.